Hi there, YouTube. So this is Melissa, and I'm here because I had a couple of PM requests asking me to show, how I do my project life. So I'm going to show you kind of the fast version, just so you can kind of get an idea of what I do and how I make it easy for me. So, for starters, I do use an 8.5 by 11 album. Usually I use the We Are Memory Keepers. You can buy these online, or for me there's a store locally that sells them. So I also use these sleeves from Hobby Lobby. They're their coupon sleeves. So there's two orientations. There's horizontal and vertical. So I switch it up each month. So one month my cards will go this way, and the next month they'll go vertical. So here we go. So I'm going to show you a brief overview of the project life for November that I just finished. So for January, February, March, April, and then September, October, November, I do just a one-page flip like this for each month. I take into account spring break, which we usually go on a trip, so I add a separate sleeve itself for spring break and just title it spring break, and add for May, June, July, and August I do two of these. So I put my title card here and then have two of these with photos because they're such busy months. So first thing I do is, it all starts here. So for each of these, you might have noticed, for this one, that goes vertical. It's hard to see because that paper's in the way. There are 3 across and 3 down. So I know that this month there are going to be 18 pockets that I need to fill. And for the ones that are horizontal, there's 2 across and there is 4 down, so I need 16. So that's something you want to start with. I like knowing that ahead of time how many pockets I'm going to allow myself and go from there, because if you give yourself, for me anyway, if I give myself unlimited pockets, I may never stop. I may add everything under the sun, so I need to simplify it myself. So I will start by making my list. Let's just go with 16 at this point. And I use a pencil because I erase a lot in case I have something I want to switch up. So one, I always know the first pocket is going to be my title card, so I always put that right there to start with. Next thing I do is I have a monthly planner that I keep upstairs for all of our, it's no Erin Condren, it's a Target $2 planner, and that works for me. So essentially what I do, this is how I construct our month, is I make notes. This is how, in the real planner, I make a photocopy of it so I can bring it down here and project life it. But in the real planner, I make notes so we know about our day, if there's, birthday parties, anything, appointments, anything I need to know, the notes go in here. This way, my husband has to look, I just leave it open on my counter. I have a little side counter for all the school daily stuff. I leave it open up there, and when I'm getting ready to project life, I'll bring the calendar down here, photocopy it, and then I have it if I want to make notes, and then just toss it away, because the calendar stays upstairs, so we need it. So the photocopy I can at least leave down here. So I start with my photocopy. I leave that there, and I know that I'll go through quickly and say, oh, there's half a dozen things here I really want to make sure that I mention. Okay, so the next thing I do is, I'm going to move the camera quickly. On my computer, I have a file that says November right here. And then these are all the pictures that I have loaded for November. So, move down here quickly again. So what I then do is I will scroll through those photos and, write down, each photo had a number. So I will write down the number And that's why I use a pencil. So if I know my daughter had a birthday party, when I'm scrolling through the photos, I make sure I want to, write down those. And if I want to erase and change it, have at it. So, and then if I don't have 16, I know that I'm going to move the camera again. I'm going to go over here, and that's where I keep all my Project Life cards. I don't have a lot, but I mean, really, it's only a pattern paper piece of paper. To me, that's what a Project Life card is, really, with a stamp on it or what have you. So it's just a matter of how much time you can dedicate to your Project Life. I know there's people out there that have to get, have to be fast and have everything pre-made, which great, but I'm not that person. So I feel like I can cut a piece of pattern paper and stick it in as a filler card. I have tons of it. So after I've got all my pictures printed, I keep these things here. I made myself, just like everybody else, I made myself this little worksheet. So then I start, I go chronological order, and I start by pulling, if there's Project Life cards I want to use, if there's stamps I want to use that coincide with, anything I'm doing here. This is the time that I configure it. So I go through my ephemera packs, add that, because, there's a lot that are very appropriate for some occasions. So I go through my ephemera packs, pull out anything that I want, and I lay it down next to the photos and things. And then, when I have the ephemera packs and the stamps actually pulled, I will physically pull the stamps out. I will go ahead then and, after everything's laid out, I will take my iPhone and I will take a picture of each side so that I can then sit down and start assembling. So the one thing that I will tell you, this is not a process. This is a process that is good for me because it limits, it has really not a ton of flexibility. I mean, like I said, if there are pictures, I don't feel obligated, like for her birthday, like I mentioned in the Project Life video. I did a separate layout for this, so did I need to have 3 pictures? No, but I mean, I could have let it go. But see, so this is when I would lay things out and start just setting things down that I think I want to use. If they don't get used, well, that's okay too. But like I knew I wanted to use this kapow and oh snap stamp and stuff like that on that, so I kind of pulled those out. So once that's done, then I start assembling. The only downside to this process is these aren't 3x4 size cards. You need to trim them. So for instance, if you, like, I have had this from Scraptastic in my stash for a really long time, but it's going to have to be on a layout. I do pocket, regular Becky Higgins style scrapbooking in my other scrapbook when I'm just trying to, have extra pictures. And then I do use Project Life cards in my scrapbooking layouts. So something like this wouldn't fit in my vertical orientation pocket. I mean, I guess I could trim it to make it fit, which, I'd just be worried it would crack. So, yeah, and then there's other ones too. Like when you're buying Project Life cards, you want to keep in mind that you will have to trim them down. Like, so if you're hoping to use like a big word, like this one, for instance, this, some of this word might get chopped off. So if you don't care, you don't care. Like, it doesn't usually bother me because I like things going off the side of the page, and it's only a smidge. I mean, it's not a ton that gets chopped off, but anyway, so this is just the way I do it. And, yeah, it's very simple for me. Like I said, one of the things that helps is knowing that I limit myself on my pockets, because I have to have a start and end. If I don't, for me, it doesn't work for me, because I could just keep adding and adding and adding and adding. And so knowing that this is exactly what I'm working with for the whole month, it works for me. So, and I get to document quite a bit of, the ordinary days of my life that I would not normally scrapbook about. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you have any other questions, let me know. Okay, guys, thanks for watching.